Guys, today we're doing a video that nobody, not a single person, actually asked for. Today we are doing a PowerPoint presentation review of the new Water Sky Surfer monster. So half of you out there right now are like, Bagel, the PowerPoint presentation does not sound very exciting. And the other half of you are like, you're doing a PowerPoint presentation review about a monster that has not actually even come out yet. We know his skills, right? And that's what basically we're doing this on, is we know his skills, so we're theory crafting what he's going to be good against, what he's going to be good with, what kind of things to combo him with. So let's get started. Listen, we don't really do stuff like this. We've done similar like presentation style things, but we'll see if it works or if it doesn't, or if people hate it, or it's 2021. Everyone's like, we hate everything. Bega, doesn't matter what it is. We go hate it already. Okay, so let's get it started. PowerPoint presentation on the Water Sky Surfer. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the correct slide. Water Sky Surfer review. Let's get it started. So let's take a look at his skills. Skills cutback blood. Just a recap. I know we already did his skill video in the last one. We took a look at the update or the news or whatever. Attacks the enemy absorb attack gauge by 15% with a 50% chance. Not very exciting. Spin grab shot attacks the enemy. Well, I mean, that's not exciting until you put a comma and say also ignores defense. Then it becomes a little bit more exciting because that's really what it is. It's absorb attack gauge. It also ignores defense. Attacks the enemy, second skill, attack the enemy, remove all beneficial effects, 80% chance, stuns the enemy with a 30% chance. Even if it doesn't stun, potentially stun, potentially strip and kill because also ignore defense. Jet engine passive increases your attack speed by 5% up to 100% for each beneficial effect granted on the enemies and allies. So really strong when your enemies have shield will or just shield or just will. Your team has shield will, your team has just shield or just will or whatever. All the beneficial effects or immunity or whatever that your team has, attack power buffs, speed buffs that you guys have, defense, not defense breaks. All the buffs on the battlefield, the more the merrier, right? Increase your attack speed up to by 5% up to 100% for each beneficial effect, granting the enemies and allies. In addition, inflicts additional damage that ignores defense in proportion to your attack speed when you attack the enemy on your turn. So you want them to be super fast. Speed buffs also help. And hey, a unit that just passively ignores defense. We actually have some more units that do defense, ignore defense with skill 1, like we have the Drunken Masters and we have the Bounty Hunters that do ignore defense with skill 1. We also have another unit that does ignore defense just passively, as passive is Odin, right? Odin's pretty strong. I think we can agree that Odin's pretty strong. Odin's pretty meta relevant. Now we have, I don't really see too many people thinking about him as basically a Water Odin kind of. So I will see when he comes out. We'll see how strong he is. But he's Water Odin. It does that is really fast. So yeah, there we go. The runes. These are the runes that I would assume are going to be. I feel like there's not going to be very much deviation from this. Swift Focus, Swift Blade. It's kind of like, feels like it's off center. Swift Focus, Swift Blade, Swift Will, Violent Blade, Violent Will. I think a lot of people are going to do this on Swift. I also know that there's going to be some people that have crazy Giants beat 12 farming and also Dimension Cauldron rune farming accounts where they're just like speed, and they got those 320 Swift sets, and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to put him with Fran. I'm going to trick people. I'm going to have a Bastet, I'm going to have a Fran, and then I'm going to have some crazy like Daphnis and him and some Beast Riders and things like that. Like everything's going to be over 300 speed. They're going to ban the Bastet. That's going to be the bait. And then I'm going to use him in a Fran, and they both have 300 speed plus, and then they're just going to ignore all kinds of crazy defense. So, or same thing with Kali. I've seen those people, 300 speed Kalis. Fun. Fun hitting those when you're like, I'm going to ban the attack bar booster. You're like, oh crap, everything on their team outsped me. So, yeah, I mean, he does damage based on speed, so you want him to be as fast as possible. Speed, crit damage, attack. Stats to prioritize speed, crit rate, crit damage, attack, and accuracy. I say accuracy because remember, his skill 2 still does a debuff. Skill 1 still does a debuff, the attack gauge absorb. Attack gauge absorb or attack gauge decrease? I already forgot this. Attack gauge absorb, yes, okay. Which is both. And then the skill 2, which is the strip and the potential stun. And I think that's going to wind up being 100%, like after it's skilled up, is going to be 100% probably strip, and then probably maybe like a 40, 50, 60%, probably not. I mean, 40, somewhere between 40 to 60% chance to stun. I would feel it's not going to be 100% percent chance. I say that now. Watch, it's 100% chance. But yeah, and then we also don't know what the leader skills. Knowing Comtois is probably going to be like leader skill of like dungeon resistance. Okay, Comtois, dungeon resistance leader skill. But yeah, I mean, I just see this guy. You could put him on Violent Blade or Violent Will or something like speed, core, damage, attack, and then just keep, just like Odin, right? But he could just keep ignoring defense, keep one-shotting things. Could be very, very nasty. So it's not just about Swift. It's about just making him fast, and Swift is good, Violent is good. So let's go. Most similar in utility to Barbara. We think about Barbara. Barbara kind of has, like, with her skill too. She also does the attack gauge increase for the rest of the team. But it's similar to Barbara, similar to Stella, because Stella does damage. She's a water unit. She does damage with her third skill based on speed. Stella kind of, I mean, if you put additional damage based on speed and attack power on her, on Stella, she does so many hits with skill 3, especially since it's based on the higher speed you have, the more hits it's going to do. She can potentially, all that additional damage ignores defense. So she's kind of like that, but she multi-hits. So he's similar to Barbara. He's similar to Chilling. Chilling, again, additional damage. Miang, she does multi-hits. She does damage based on... These are units that do water damage based on speed. Mina is a super fast unit. She doesn't ignore defense, but she's generally a very fast water damage dealing unit. Chilling is a very fast water damage dealing, not quite as fast. I wouldn't say people really run Chilling and Covenant super fast. They run Chilling with some, like, decent speed on him. Covenant, really less so. He's more of just, like, attack or damage attack, like, get the speed in subs kind of situation. But also, Covenant does ignore defense. He ignores damage mitigation effects with skill 1. He ignores defense with skill 3. He has a skill 2 strip. So these are things that you want to think about. Like, these are similar to those units. Also, Odin and Bulwark. I feel like this is kind of like a water Odin a little bit. And then Bulwark, I feel like this is... Because, you know... The thing with why I'm saying this is like Bulwark, number one, is it does kind of ignore defense damage. Bulwark's does ignore defense damage. He does a heal too. But the thing with why this is similar to Bulwark and why you got to think about this as similar to Bulwark unit is that Bulwark stacks his knowledge based on if you guys have passives on your team, if the enemy has passives on... He stacks knowledge if you guys have buffs on your team and the enemy has buffs on their team. So you do have to kind of think about this kind of like Bulwark situation. So he is kind of a hybrid combination of a lot of these different units here. And this is just, we're just doing this on the water one. If you guys want to see me do this on the rest of the units, let me know, because it's kind of fun. Listen, guys, I'm old and I'm a nerd, and it's fun to make PowerPoint presentations. It's not even PowerPoint, it's the open office version of PowerPoint. Some of you already figured that out. You're like, I know this is not PowerPoint, buddy. It's budget PowerPoint. Okay, best potential combinations with, in my opinion, things that buff speed and attack power, right? So, and I think that a lot of people are going to wind up using these, like, in cleave teams. Like, the people that love doing the Kali cleaves, Bernards, all those different things. So Draco can potentially buff speed, can potentially buff attack power. Chilling buffs speed and crit rate, not bad. I mean, Chilling is similar to him, but also Chilling is a potential nice combination with him, right? And then he's gonna buff his speed by literally giving him a speed buff, and then it's also going to buff his speed even more by having all those the speed buffs and the crit rate buffs on your entire team. So, all of these are going to be nice combination. Again, it's speed and attack power buff, speed and attack power buff, speed buff, and also this is going to give turn 1. Like, if, for example, if you have this on super fast on Swift, then you have a speed lead and a Swift unit that you can just come in with Tableau. Give your whole team the turn and do some ignore defense. Or you can even run Tableau on Violent and have Tableau have the Surfer move first, and then have Tableau and other units or whatever, and then have Tableau come in at last, and then give your whole team another turn, right? You know, Tableau things, basic Tableau things. Tableau 101. Ashir, which is super fast base speed, also has a speed buff as well. And then we have Savannah, who's got a speed buff and also a defense break. You don't really need Savannah as much, but Savannah at least is still a nice combination. Like, anything that does speed buffs is a nice combination. Anything that does AoE buffs to your team is a nice combination as well. So all of these things, and then also even more, so many units. All the things that buff on your team, all things that buff on the enemy's team, all strong, and then also buffs of speed and attack power. That's basically what this slide is. Best against. Oh, I switched the order of these slides. Lols. So it's best against Lulu, Fran, Vigor, Veladjul, Amelia, Wusa, immunity buffers, like any buffers on the enemy team. I think this is gonna be really nice against. Like Lulu, Molong. I feel like it's dangerous against the Molong. Molong can still just like delete it eventually, but I think this is gonna be nice again. Well, it's actually, he should be able to do decent damage to Molong, so that Molong will be at like half health, even if he can't like kill Molong straight away. Like for example, if you don't have like all the damage potential like right away turn 1, if they're so tanky, the Molong, Carnal, and Lulu teams are so tanky that like you can't even just like one-shot them. He should still be pretty nice against those teams. Verd Lulu situation should be nice against that. Just the fact that there's like the Molong Lulu Carnal is kind of annoying to deal with, and you could basically like if you are fighting against something like that, you could basically just ban the, because Leo would need to be the ban in that situation if you want to do all your damage, because Leo would be a counter to that. But you could just let those through, and then you could just start doing ignore defense damage over and over and over again. And it could be really nice. So this is just basically a counter to all the immunity that stops you from doing defense breaks. Yeah, it's counter to all the immunity and fire and water. And also Fran, because Fran, all those immunity buffers and all those attack power buffers and things like that, and speed buffers and defense buffers, like all of that's going to just feed his extra damage. So I think it is actually a nice unit. It does fit the niche. It doesn't fit, not fit the niche. It's I think it's actually a pretty useful unit, but it is going to fill a certain spot that I think a lot of people are going to actually really enjoy using this. Okay, and then he's countered. I think this is the last slide. Okay, he's countered by Leo. Big time. I mean, he does damage based on his speed. Leo's already has element advantage, just like Leo counters Barbara, right? Super countered by Leo, countered by Triana because death prevention, right? If he nukes something, he's still gonna be able to, like, for example, if he's on Violent, he gets an additional turn. He tries, like, he procs Triana's passive, but then Triana comes in. She's like, I'm gonna do skill 1. I'm gonna put you to sleep. Can be annoying, but additional turns even can kill multi-hit units that take multiple hits to kill, like for example Garo or Leica or something like that. So I think that he is actually going to be run by some people on Swift and some people on Violent. But Triana is potentially a counter to him. Miho, because he is going to need to crit. It's not like he's like does damage without critting like Kaki or things like that. Leica, since it looks like he's just going to do single attacks, so Leica would actually be a decent counter to him. Since Leica takes multiple hits to kill, Garo takes multiple hits to kill. Theomars is just going to stop himself from dying. Diana just because wind unit, and wind unit cuts in situation. I don't actually, maybe Diana's not like a super crazy counter to him, but Wind Monkey could be a counter. Like these just things, counters in general, nice units to pick against him, not like super hard counters. Like Leo is a hard counter to him because Leo just nerfs his speed completely. Triana is kind of more of a counter because Triana is going to, like, if he hits Triana, he's probably, he's not going to be very likely to crit on Triana since it's a wind unit and he can't just one-shot something else, right? Molly, he could just glance, right? And then some of these wind units are just strong against him in general, not necessarily counters. I should have kind of clarified, not necessarily counters. And then again, I mean, Garo, but if he's on Violent, he multi-hits. If he's on Violent, he doesn't multi-hit. He gets additional turn, and he can potentially kill that. But yeah, basically just units that mitigate damage, and also you guys can't even see the bottom of the slide. What is this? Units that mitigate damage, and then also units that prevent death, like for example Theomars or Triana or things like that. But anyway, I just thought about this as an idea for. Yeah, you guys can't see. Look, why can't you guys see the last thing on each thing? Like it says Bulwark there, but Bulwark is not actually here. That's weird. I could just do this. I should do this manually. That's kind of weird, right? Does anyone else think that's weird? Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys maybe got something out of it. I know we're theory crafting on a unit that's not even out yet, but I thought it would be nice to prepare everyone. Guys gonna be like, let's buy all the packs. Calm down with buying all the packs. We know that the rates are terrible in this game. If you get it, you get it. You do your TOA. By the way, TOA hard, TOA hell, all reset in a couple days. So make sure you do those. Do your events. Save your scrolls. Don't go crazy spending $1 million on this. He's gonna be good, but that doesn't necessarily mean that like you could spend thousands of dollars and still not get him. You could spend thousands of dollars on like a PlayStation 5 and like 10 games for it also. So, and then you actually get the games. So anyway, that's, unless you get ripped off on Amazon or something like that. Anyway, that's it for this one. Just wanted to give you guys some information on like how to really think of this guy when he comes out. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you, and let me know if you want to see more on this or if you thought it was a terrible idea. But anyway, that's it for this one. See you as always in the next one.